Franklin D. Roosevelt, FDR, was one of the most influential American presidents, serving 4 terms and leading the country through the Great Depression and World War II. Here's an overview of his rise to power, presidency, role in World War II, and lasting impact. Early life and rise to power. Early life. Franklin Delano Roosevelt was born on January 30, 1882, in Hyde Park, New York, into a wealthy and influential family. He was a distant cousin of Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States. Education. Roosevelt attended Groton School, an elite preparatory school, and then went on to Harvard University. He later studied law at Columbia Law School but did not complete his degree. Early political career. FDR entered politics in 1910, winning a seat in the New York State Senate as a Democrat. In 1913, he was appointed Assistant Secretary of the Navy by President Woodrow Wilson, a position he held until 1920. Roosevelt ran as the vice presidential candidate on the Democratic ticket with James M. Cox in 1920 but lost to Warren G. Harding and Calvin Coolidge. Polio and return to politics. In 1921, Roosevelt was stricken with polio, which left him paralyzed from the waist down. Despite this, he remained politically active and made a comeback by becoming the governor of New York in 1928. His successful handling of the state's economic issues during the Great Depression boosted his national profile. Election as president. In 1932, Roosevelt was elected the 32nd President of the United States, defeating incumbent Herbert Hoover by a large margin. He took office at the height of the Great Depression. The New Deal. Roosevelt introduced a series of programs and reforms known as the New Deal to combat the Great Depression. These included the Social Security Act, the creation of the Works Progress Administration (WPA), and the establishment of the Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC). The New Deal aimed to provide relief for the unemployed, recovery of the economy, and reform of the financial system. Re-election and further terms. FDR was re-elected in 1936, 1940, and 1944, becoming the only U.S. president to serve more than 2 terms. His leadership during these critical periods in American history cemented his place as a central figure in the nation's politics. Role in World War II. Pre-war leadership. As tensions rose in Europe and Asia, Roosevelt supported measures to aid the Allies while maintaining an official stance of neutrality. He implemented policies like Lend-Lease, which provided military aid to Britain and other Allied nations. Entry into the war. After the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941, Roosevelt led the United States into World War II. He declared war on Japan, and shortly thereafter, Germany and Italy declared war on the United States. War strategy and leadership. Roosevelt played a crucial role in shaping the Allied strategy. He formed strong relationships with British Prime Minister Winston Churchill and Soviet Premier Joseph Stalin, working closely with them through the Tehran, Yalta, and Potsdam conferences to coordinate military efforts and plan for the post-war world. Home front. On the home front, Roosevelt mobilized the economy for war production, leading to significant technological and industrial advancements. The war effort helped pull the U.S. out of the Great Depression by creating jobs and boosting industrial output. Economic and social reforms. The New Deal had a lasting impact on American society and government. Programs like Social Security and regulatory bodies such as the SEC became permanent fixtures in the U.S. political landscape. Strengthening the presidency. Roosevelt expanded the power of the federal government and the presidency, setting precedents for future leaders. His ability to communicate directly with the American people through his fireside chats revolutionized presidential communication. World War II leadership. Roosevelt's leadership during World War II helped shape the post-war world order. His vision for an international organization to maintain peace led to the establishment of the United Nations. Legacy. FDR is remembered as a transformative leader who guided the United States through some of its most challenging times. His policies and leadership left a profound legacy on American politics, economy, and society. Roosevelt died in office on April 12, 1945, shortly before the end of World War II. His impact on the nation and the world remains a significant part of his legacy. Democracy cannot succeed unless those who express their choice are prepared to choose wisely. The real safeguard of democracy, therefore, is education. Franklin D. Roosevelt.